Hello all, I'm Wraith. Welcome to the top 5 Nintendo Switch 2 games that were revealed at the Nintendo Direct. Now, some of these games were rumored and some of these games came completely out of left field, but I think that most people enjoyed what was shown at the Direct. Nintendo showed off dozens of games from various different publishers that will be available at launch or later on this year, and if not, next year for the Nintendo Switch 2. And out of all those games, only 5 of them I truly believe made me hyped in actually purchasing a Switch 2. I know there's a lot of buzz going around, a lot of debates on whether people should get a Switch 2 regarding the price of the system and the price of the games. I'm not going to talk about that today, but that being said, here are the 5 games that I'm looking forward to for the Switch 2. Daemon X Machina Titanic Scion is the sequel to the 2019 action-adventure game exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. When I first saw the trailer for the first game, I was really impressed for what I saw. I'm a huge mech guy. It's funny saying that. Being a huge mech fan, I've never seen Gundam. Yeah, I know. Comments down below. Oh, how can you not see Gundam? But yeah, I have the first game. I bought the first game. I played maybe about an hour or so of the game, but I never really beat the game. I didn't go past the first hour. I liked what I saw. I liked what I played, but at that time, just, you know how life gets to you. But I got to get back to playing the first game. But this second one looks really interesting. It looks like it's a huge step up from the first one. I really enjoyed what I played in the first one. Some would be right when they say, I'm confused. Isn't this Xenoblade Chronicles X? No, this is a completely different game, different universe altogether. Although it does have similarities, both games are completely different genres. So one is an action-adventure and one is a full-fledged RPG. Either way, I'm looking forward to this game. I didn't expect to see a sequel to this game. I didn't know if it did well, but apparently it did well enough to garner a second game. Nintendo's first mascot character returns in his first brand new adventure in over a decade. It's good to see Donkey Kong back in action after so long. His last brand new game was Donkey Kong Tropical Freeze, which is arguably the greatest Donkey Kong game you will ever play. If you haven't played it, do yourself a favor and play it. Donkey Kong seems a little different here. He has, a little different facial animations and style, but that doesn't bother me that much. I prefer the older look, but I don't care. We're getting a brand new Donkey Kong game. This game looks incredible. I honestly think it rivals some PlayStation 5 games, and not only that, the gameplay is a bit different because it's not just him jumping off trees. This is him basically punching through ground and mountains and rock in order to clear his objectives. This is pretty damn cool. I like the way this looks. I like the way he plays. I can't wait for this one. And I haven't said that for a Donkey Kong game in a long time, because if you remember, the last 3D Donkey Kong game was Donkey Kong 64 on the Nintendo 64. This may not be the Mario adventure that you wanted at launch, but considering how promising this looks, I'll buy this on day one.
When the Zonai, who descended from the heavens, joined hands with the Hylians, who dwelled on the surface.
The third installment of the Hyrule Warriors series makes its return on the Nintendo Switch 2. First created during the Wii U era, Hyrule Warriors is a fusion between the iconic Legend of Zelda series and Koei Tecmo's action-paced Dynasty Warriors. Having played both Hyrule Warriors Definitive Edition and Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity, I can honestly say I'm looking forward to this one. Much like how this game's predecessor expanded the story of Breath of the Wild, this game's going to take place before the events of Tears of the Kingdom. I unfortunately have not beat Tears of the Kingdom, so I have a long ways to go to understanding the story and so forth. I've only played a few hours, maybe about 20-30 hours so, but that's still nowhere near in beating that massive game. Even though some of those games can be a bit repetitive, they're still fun nonetheless. But hopefully Koei Tecmo can implement some new features, that way us fans can enjoy this game months and months after its release. Depending what's out when this game is released, this game may or may not be a day one purchase, but it will end up in my library nonetheless. Out of all the games that were shown at the Direct, this one just utterly floored me because I was not expecting a brand new From Software game to be revealed for the Nintendo Switch. None whatsoever. I was absolutely pleasantly surprised because I'm a huge fan of From Software's legendary library of games, Elden Ring, and of course Dark Souls. Many people compare this to Bloodborne, which was released exclusively for PlayStation 4, and I can see the similarities between the two, considering they're both made from From Software, so you know the quality will be there. Now, recently Miyazaki has stated in an interview that this game will be primarily focused on the multiplayer aspect. Now, that particular news doesn't really sit well with fans, considering they love the single-player campaigns of From Software games. Now, with their games, they have such a deep lore and very intricate storylines. So that's what they're worried about. They're worried they're just focused on the multiplayer aspect and probably leave little to nothing in regards to the story campaign. What I'm thinking is that maybe it's like Splatoon, where the focus is multiplayer, but there is a single player campaign. I think, personally, that's what's going to happen. It will seem pretty stupid if they just focus primarily on multiplayer, but who knows? The game is a year away, and all I know is that this game looks gorgeous. I love the aesthetics, I love the gothic setting. The music sounds glorious, the gameplay looks promising. Seeing all that made me skyrocket this game all the way to number 2 on the list. It is that awesome. What I want to know is that who owns the IP to this game? Is it From Software or is it Nintendo? Now, in that interview, Miyazaki did say that Nintendo approached him and his team to make a game for the Switch too. I guess we'll find out soon enough once this game is released. Needless to say, the Dustbloods will be a day one purchase for me whenever it's released in 2026. And here we have the number 1 game on my list, for good reason, because I've been waiting for Metroid Prime 4 since Metroid Prime 3 on the Wii. It has been almost 20 years since there was a Prime game. No, I don't count Metroid Prime Hunters or anything like that, or even Metroid Prime Pinball. This made me so happy. I know this was announced months ago, but to see it on display for the Switch 2, it just makes things even better. Because I knew when this game was revealed that they were going to do a Switch 2 version. It just made sense. You have something of this magnitude being released only for Switch, big mistake. When you have a new console right there around the corner, you have to utilize its power by having such great software for it. And Metroid Prime 4, perfect subject for that. From what I can tell from the cutscenes, it seems that Samus is there to once again save the Federation soldiers. Also, Silas is there to cause up some trouble. Now, if you haven't played Metroid Prime 3 or Metroid Prime Hunters, you'll probably be lost by the story. What is confirmed, however, is that in this planet, or wherever Samus ends up, she gains psychic abilities. So in this game, you can actually control doors or maneuver objects, or even manipulate the trajectory of your beams, which is awesome. That's never been done before in a Metroid game. I remember when this game was first announced that some other team, I think some team within Bandai Namco, was handling this game. But something happened where they just couldn't figure out what to do, or they just couldn't basically make a proper sequel, so they scrapped it and gave it to Retro Studios. And I believe Retro Studios should be the only team handling the Metroid Prime series. You can have another part of Metroid being handled by another team. For example, Metroid Dread, handled by Nintendo themselves. Which, funny enough, I still haven't played. Why? I'm the biggest Metroid fan that I know, and I haven't played it yet. I gotta just shut up and play Metroid Dread, then I can talk about playing Metroid Prime 4. But either way, this game has been on my radar since it was announced a long time ago. I think a year after the Switch came out was when they announced Metroid Prime 4. It was that long ago. But again, it's been almost 20 years since a Metroid Prime game. I am beyond hyped, no pun intended, or maybe, I don't know, I don't care. But this is absolutely day one purchase for me. And if for some reason they have a Metroid style Switch 2 console, I'm also getting that. Without a doubt. Even if I buy the standard one at launch, I'm still getting that Metroid Prime themed one if they make one. So there you have it. That's my list. My top 5 games that got me hyped for Switch 2. So what about you viewers out there? What are your thoughts on Switch 2? Are you hyped? Are you not hyped? If you have a top 5 list for your hyped Switch games, well, let me know down in the comments. And if you want more content on my channel, well, you know what to do. That being said, take care and Godspeed.